Hey everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. We are here with another Mystery Mystic Monday, and this time we're going to discuss two cases. First up is Tommy Howe. He's a 24-year-old man who was last seen January 22nd, 2022. He's from Illinois, and he was involved in a motor vehicle collision where I don't know if he lost control of the vehicle and then struck the guardrail, and then from that impact the vehicle then went into another vehicle. That's what it sounds like is what's coming out. And so what happened was the driver of the other vehicle and Tommy pulled over to the middle, like the meridian area, the center divider area, and they, I guess, were going to exchange information. As the driver of the other vehicle was checking on her children, Tommy wandered off. He walked across, from what reports are saying, 4 lanes of traffic and went off into like a forest area. And it looked like, from what his parents are saying, that the vehicle has sustained quite a heavy impact. All the airbags had deployed. There was a good chance that he could have sustained an injury, maybe a concussion, but there was no evidence of severe injuries, such as like blood or other tissue in the vehicle to suggest that he was severely injured. And the other driver and the occupants in her vehicle were fine. So he wandered off into the forest area, and it also came out later from his family that he had, I don't know if he was on his way to an appointment or coming back from an appointment with a counselor, because he had been under, some stresses, experiencing a lot of anxiety surrounding a new job. He was working from home. And so he was also visiting with family, and they were going to go to lunch with him that day, his mom and dad. So then when he didn't show up for lunch, that's when his mom did the where's my iPhone app thing. I'm not sure if it's an app. I don't have an iPhone. But they tracked it to the phone to a tow yard. And so he had both a company issued cell phone, and that was later found at the edge of the forest. And then he had his personal cell phone, which was inside the vehicle at a tow yard, which is where his mom found out about the accident. And everyone in the area and, volunteers, police, they've been looking for him, and they have not been able to find him. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a reading to see what we can pick up on surrounding this situation. All right, let's get to it. Thank you, Spirit, for your divine guidance, your divine grace, your divine protection, and your divine prophecy. Okay, so Spirit, we're looking at the energy surrounding Tommy Howe. We're looking at what may have happened before, during, and after that accident. That's what we're asking you about, is what may have happened before, during, or after the accident. Let's see what is coming up here. Okay, too many jumping. So I'm going to put these back. I'm going to leave storm out since it flipped near. Oh, water. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to do one more. I'm just feeling like one more is needed. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, book. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom in and we're going to discuss it. We got the moon card almost immediately. And let's zoom in so we can see that. Sorry for the glare. I'll see if I can fix that. Let's see if I can fix that. There we go. No more glare. All right, so now we've got the moon card. Let's bring you up here. The moon card is about, this card literally, one of the meanings is lunacy, dark emotions, a wayward soul, and it also is tied to natural cycles of life, death, transformation, up and down, highs and lows. So Tommy was definitely experiencing a cycle of a high and a low in his life before the accident. So that's what I'm picking up on here. And like I said, this oracle card, it's got like almost 90 cards in it. I don't know exact numbers, but it has a guidebook with meanings, and the associations that the creator of this deck made for this deck was lunacy and wayward soul and dark emotions. He was really in a bad place. He was at a point where it probably was even difficult for him to even express to his family how dark of a place he was in. He was saying he was having anxieties, but in truth, he was experiencing more than just anxieties. He was experiencing really dark emotions, really feeling lost, okay? Things just not very clear to him emotionally. Just in a state of emotional unrest. So that's what I'm picking up strongly surrounding his state of mind or his emotional state concerning, just before the accident. So then we have the shield. I think this also kind of speaks to what was going on with his family. Protection, isolation. He was in isolation when he was working from home. When you're thrust into a work from home situation and maybe he's new to work, he may not have had the emotional and mental tools and wherewithal to deal with all that comes with having your home space also be your workspace and having the demands of your job imposed upon you at home. It can be quite a lot. And I think he was protecting his family from all that he was really experiencing. Like he almost felt silly feeling the way he was feeling. But the truth of the matter is, even us older folk have a hard time working from home. I know I did. I thought it was something that I wanted to do. And it turned out, before the pandemic, turned out that once I started working from home, it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. And in fact, it felt like it was encroaching on my sanctuary. And so that's what I'm picking up here for him. And he, it stressed him out, not just what was going on in his personal life, but also everything that was going on, around him, the constant noise of the stresses of the pandemic, the isolation. That's one of the key words to the shield card. So now we move on to number 16. Number 16 is storm, turbulent times, danger, troubled emotions. And so I'm sensing that a lot came up on the day of the appointment with his counselor. Stormy emotions with the storm card next to the water card. And it was just too much. And I sensed that he may have lost control. He may have drifted off, veered to the left, went, off into the guardrail, hit it. It was very disorienting. It can be very disorienting when you hit with such force if you're going at a good speed, right? And then the airbag deploys, and then you have all this powder from the airbag. So you're even if you weren't injured, it's very disorienting and jarring, and it can be very dangerous, right? Because at that point, he then hits the guardrail, could have been seriously injured, maybe hit his head on something, and then he goes off and hits someone else. Luckily for the other people, they weren't really injured. But this is speaking to that danger zone that he found himself in. I sense also that that's the mental state that he was in. So that being so, him being in that mental state at the time of impact, boom, impact occurs, he gets up and he just moves, he just walks off. It's like a state of trauma. He was in a state of trauma like before, and then he was now in a state of trauma afterwards. Water could also speak to what may have happened. Frozen water. From what I can tell, it's snowing there. It's cold there where he was last seen, or where the accident took place. And so it could be a body of water that he's nearby, or in the water, or something to do with water. So I thought that was interesting that the water card came up. Okay, because it could deal with maybe where another clue might be. And I don't know. I'm not picking up on one way or the other on whether or not he's alive. Like, the water card could mean that he's alive. My hope would be that maybe someone who was traveling a long distance picked him up. He, maybe sustained amnesia, forgot he's in some other city. Someone doesn't even know that he's missing. I don't know. That would be the best outcome. But, I don't know. It's hard to say. And I'm not going to really speak much more on that. But the water card is interesting. The book card, let me share with you guys about the book card. One of the meanings associated for this card with the, in the guidebook is escaping from reality. Like reading a good book and escaping, getting away. He needed to get away. The stresses of his life were catching up to him. And he thought he would have been able to receive a lot of relief from the counseling session. But in the end, it bubbles up even more emotions than where he was before the storm, right? And then, after a hurricane, you have all this water that remains. You first have the storm, and then you have all this water and what remains, and it's really difficult to deal with. And so he just wanted to escape from reality. After the impact, he just wanted to escape. He wanted to escape before the impact. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up here. I don't sense that there is foul play, and at least that I'm not picking up on that. But we'll see. We're gonna pull from the little oracle deck I love to pull from, the trace evidence telling cards, in a moment. Be right back. Right, so we are back, and now we are asking the question: what were the energies surrounding Tommy's general life and his like his just general life, his work life, his, social life. What was going on there? Okay. Bride in a cage. He was feeling trapped. He was feeling alone, trapped by his own, maybe his own making. And it's, bride in a cage is an interesting thing to think about, right? A bride, someone who looks happy, someone who is happy on their special day. But in a cage, not all that is, beautiful and smiling and glamorous and great is really what's really happening here. And there's someone who is experiencing, feeling trapped in what would otherwise appear to be a beautiful life is what I'm picking up here. Sorry, forgot I had zoomed in. So that is what I'm picking up on there. And let me see, because I was going to skip around. What happened? Following the impact. Okay. But I want to ask just some general, like with the tarot, what was going on energetically, spirit, in Tommy's general life? What was happening? We got the bride in a cage. What else? What else can you share with us, if anything? Strength. Okay. And what was going on with him work-wise? What was going on work-wise? Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else to share? And I'll zoom out in just a moment so we can look at all the cards. Loss. Oh, all right. Okay, so let's do that. We have the bride. We have strength. Strength is about inner strength. Having to really draw from a well of inner resolve and really battling battles that no one really may know about. And he's really been strong for a long time. In fact, he's been really trying to hold on mentally, physically, emotionally since, I would say August of last year. Like it's really been a struggle for him. I think that it's this with the Success Will Find You card is that he, by probably his own admission, he was living a successful life, doing everything right, everything by the book. And as a result, he was blessed by that. But cracks started to show. Work performance issues started to come about. I don't know if maybe he was connected to this job or like maybe he networked with someone, a family member or a friend or a prior like coworker or someone who helped him get this job, and he didn't want to let anyone down. I think he really didn't want to let his family members down or friends or colleagues. So that's what I'm picking up here. And I don't know if he was also being able to express the kind, we all work at jobs that are not necessarily where we want to end up, right? And I think that he may have been struggling with that as well. Like there was some other calling that was pulling at him, but he had to, support himself. He had to prove himself. He had to show gratitude for, this opportunity. And in the end, he ended up feeling quite lost. And I think this is also kind of speaking to what may have ended up happening on the day of his disappearance more than anything. He is a missing person. And, of course, somebody or something could have been the cause of him not being around today. But I really get a strong sense of loss. being lost, but well before all of this happened. And he was just showing a strong face all this time, particularly since August of last year. Just putting on a really strong face. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next question, which is, what happened immediately following the impact? So the collision occurred and he wanders off. Spirit, what happened after that? What may have transpired after that? 9 of Wands in reverse. Thank you, Spirit. What may have happened after that? What happened to Tommy following the impact? Okay. Oh, cell phone. Money. Daughter. Woman. 9 of Wands. And then I'm going to pull for my 9 of Wands. Is about really enduring something and really going through it and taking the bumps and the bruises and still just pushing forward. Whereas I'm sensing that he got to the end of his rope. This was a bad accident. And whereas with the 9 of Wands, when it's upright, it's about, going for it, continuing, enduring, pushing through the hard times, getting bumped, getting hurt, getting knocked down, but continuing to go. When it's in reverse, it's like it was like he needed to escape. We saw that with the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle reading with the book card. He needed to escape. And his cell phones, he took his work phone at first, I think, on autopilot. Maybe he accidentally left his personal phone on the seat. But a part of me intuitively picks up that it was symbolic of him to walk away and leave the cell phone behind. He kept the other cell phone, and then eventually left those behind too. So the cell phones will have some clues, not just because of the fact that they have some data inside that could lead authorities, to him, but also just him symbolically leaving one in the car, one, and some people might say, no, someone could have taken him and dropped the phone and the phone just got left there. That is definitely a plausible way of how the phones got there. But there's something about the cell phone's location and something about what's inside the cell phone that can lead them to unearthing what may have happened. Okay. Money could be just all work related. Some people could say maybe he did face or encounter someone who may have tried to rob him. That is a possibility. I'm not picking up on that vibe. I'm picking up on with this High Pool card, emotional unrest, sitting with deep, dark emotions and not quite sure of what to do with it. A girl could be involved. It's like somebody's daughter, someone that, his life was feeling really off balance. Maybe it comes out that he had recently went through a breakup or was about to break up or some kind of emotional turmoil, not just the work life, but it was like all these different issues compounding, money issues, relationship issues, not being able to manage it all. Okay, so what I think immediately happened, because that's the question, he wandered off and didn't get very far. Here's water again. Water came up in the Mildred Paynes. I'm pointing over to it here. Let me zoom out. Water showed up earlier. Here's water again. He didn't get very, very far with this 9 of Wands in reverse. I don't sense that he left state lines or anything like that. I sense that he may be close to where the phones are at, a body of water. Okay, he didn't get very far. All right. Let's see if there's anything else to ask about. We already kind of know why he wandered off. I want to know what's next in the investigation. Let me see if we can speak to that, and then we'll move on to the next case. What's next for the investigation into what may have happened to Tommy? Okay, too many cards. One or two, please. Thank you, Spirit. 7 of Pentacles. Let me pull this one. What's next in the investigation? Village. All right. Some information is going to be unearthed. Oh my gosh, the garden card jumped. You cannot make this up. I think this is a 78 card deck. Shuffled really all day. I shuffled this one. 7 of Pentacles. There you've got that earth energy. A village. It's, it's going to be the community that finds him, or someone from the community that finds him. And that's what's next. It's going to be a large community push and effort to unearth what happened. And so the 7 of Pentacles, interestingly enough, is in this deck, in this tarot deck, is depicted with dirt, a plant here. We see that here with the garden card. And it's even lush green here. Like, I sense that somewhere in that forest setting near that body of water, they will unearth. It will take time. They may at times lose faith over being able to find out what happened, but they will find out what happened. The Pentacles, for me, represents the season of autumn. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be autumn. We can even ask maybe when we might hear something. 7 of Pentacles. But 7 of Pentacles is about pushing through the village, the community, pushing through and unearthing what truly happened. And so it may take time to really unpack the entirety of what happened. I'm talking, it could be fall that they really fully understand. Like, they may unearth things soon in terms of what happened, but it may not be till fall to his family really fully understood how he got to the point of where he was at on the day of the accident. Like, it could have even been something like he was about to return back to his work life, and it just stressed him out. It just really stressed him out. The money aspects. It was just what tipped everything over for him. And the accident was just like, that was it. So that's what I'm picking up on. I do sense that they will get the answers that they need. Something buried, something unearthed, something dug up, something found. They will find out what happened. Okay. There will be, it won't be a mystery forever, is what I'm sensing. Pentacles represents the timing of years and the season of fall, or the season of fall. It doesn't have to be years and fall. It could be or. So anyways, sending my heartfelt wishes for Tommy's safe return to his family. And I hope that his family is able to get answers that they need and peace. And just, I'm really hoping that he's safe. But in the event that something has happened, we just send, loving energy towards his family, because I can just only imagine what his family is going through, his mom, his dad. And yeah, I really hope that some answers come soon. All right, my dears, we're going to move on to the next case.